built in Chicago, high winds. Each building is constructed differently to have a different integrity. None of us in here have the same integrity. Integrity have nothing to do with morality. That's what we've been tricked on. So we try to be moral but no integrity. That don't work. See, black folks got plenty of morality. We got plenty of morality, no integrity. And without integrity, morality don't work. It don't work. So here it is. Integrity is not just about keeping your word. It's also about how you function. Let me give you an example. All right, I'm going to draw this on the board so you can see as a visual. As a little visual. You've seen a bicycle tire rim. We all had bicycles, right? I want you to imagine this is a bicycle tire rim. And every spoke on the bicycle tire rim represents an element of your integrity. All right? What happens if I start taking spokes out? Huh? It gets weak. It stops functioning as it was intended to function. Our integrity works the same way. When there are elements missing from who we are, when we stop being who we are, we start taking spokes out of our will. We stop functioning as our integrity. Now, get this. The only way we can produce in this world is through integrity. When our integrity is in, you could give your word, and your word becomes the law. You know how it says in the beginning? It says in the beginning was what? Word. Right? In the beginning, that's all it was the word. Guess what? Ain't nothing changed. That's all it is the word. The word we give to each other. And right now what we are experiencing is the condition of our word. That's what we're experiencing. We are experiencing the condition of our word. That's the reason why I feel so passionate about the idea of listening. Because the reason why our word is in the condition it's in is because we stop listening to our word. You tell people stuff every day that you don't even listen to what you say. Got words slip out of your mouth all the time about what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and you're not even listening to what you're saying. And so you give a word and don't show up with the word. So you got a bad relationship with the word. You can't create in this world without a good word. Them old folks were not lying. They used to tell me all the time, boy, make sure you have a good word. Your word is your bond. Have a good name. And we used to think they were just being old folky, but they were so on point. Because the reality is, this whole world is made up of what they call communication. If you look into the world, you will see that everything is running on communication. There's not a single thing that you could point to, and I challenge you, point to anything that's not communicating. Everything is communicating. Now, so in a world driven by communication, how do you get anything to move if you don't have a word? Think about that for a second. In a world driven by communication, everything is communicating. From the cells in your brain all the way to the cells in your feet, everything is communicating. They're talking constantly. How your body functions is based upon the communication going on between themselves. When the communication starts messing up, you get sick. When they stop working in unison, when there's a broken word in one of the cells, it begins to manifest as some kind of illness. Or you take, for example, a person could have a desire for something, been having it for a long time, but keep putting off acting on it. For too long, that broken word manifests inside their body, right? It starts creating confusion in the cells. There's a book that I want to recommend that you read. You can write it down. It's called The Biology of Belief by Dr. David Lipton. I think it's David Lipton. I know his last name is Lipton, by Dr. Lipton. It's not necessarily an easy read book, but it's a book worth reading. And the reason why I say it because it lays out technology that's been kept from the population. What it talks about is the impact of belief on our physiology, on our cells, on our health, that biologists have been knowing, but they didn't figure out a way. They haven't figured out yet how to charge us for it. So they don't teach it. But this biologist, sort of like this biologist, comes clean because he was, experiencing deep depression, and he thought he was destined to live out the same life of his parents. So he started looking into the biology of belief, and what he found was that how our cells are constantly changing based upon our belief system. So when you start believing something deeply, what happens is your cells start taking on that belief, and that becomes the word that they operate from. So I want you to understand that. So you got cells in your body that are following the command of your belief. So if you don't believe if you have a negative belief about yourself, your cells are taking that on. Now, something else I want to share with you as I go through this, and then I'm going to start asking questions because I want us to participate in this. This is designed for me to just start this off and get into a discussion. There's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. Anybody familiar with it? The reticular activating system. Now, the reticular activating system is a part of the brain that works in conjunction with your belief system. This is what it does. Every day we are constantly being bombarded with information from all over the environment. What happens is our brain ciphers that information and only draws down into our understanding the things that are important to us. So it's the reason why we learn 7-digit numbers real fast, or real easy, or 10-digit numbers, because it works in that way. Here's an example of how it works. You go in the airport, and you're waiting for your flight. There's a whole bunch of noise going on, people talking, television on, conversations going back and forth, planes taking off. But when they call your flight, your reticular activating system pulls information down, and you get up and you go catch your plane. Another example is, if you ever bought a car, and you thought you were going to be the only one with that car. I remember I bought one, I was like, ooh, it was a red Eagle Talon. I ain't see it nowhere on the street. I was like, I'm going to be the only one, be the first one. Soon I got off the lot. I was like, what in the world? Everybody and their mama got it. Got some old white lady driving one. I was like, God, everybody got this car. Now, it's not that they went out and bought the car the day I bought mine. The reticular activating system made it a priority. So now, since I had that car, I start seeing the car everywhere. That's how the reticular activating system works. Now, I said that because I want you to understand something. Your reticular activating system works in conjunction with your belief system. If you believe you ain't shit, excuse my language, guess what your reticular activating system do? It goes out into the world and proves to you you ain't shit.
Oh, God. That's not good.
No, it's not good at all.
That is true.
But it's true. It goes out, finds evidence, and let me tell you something. If